right. Well, there we go. Yeah, we should be. Sounds coming through. Yeah, sounds coming through. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Dylan. This is Jacob. This is Flipside Music, and we are getting in gear today. We're going to go ahead and try. Well, not try. We're going to run through 3 of the G series pedals from REVV. It basically. Well, before I get into that, we can kind of do some of the other stuff, but that's essentially what we're going to get into. We also have a little reverb sandwich going on as well.
So we can get shoegazy.
Yes. So all the kids can learn how to shoegaze properly.
Yes.
Which is when you need front end reverb, back end reverb, maybe even middle reverb if you have an option. But
yeah, all the reverbs. If you don't have at least 3, possibly 4 reverbs on your board, what are you even doing?
yeah, are you even trying? Like at all?
But yeah, today we're going to look at the REVV series.
Yes. Yeah, they released the V2s. They technically released them a while ago as the anniversary set. Those were the black ones with all the like color coordinated knobs. So like the G4 was black with red knobs, the G3 was black with purple knobs, and then the G2 was black with green knobs.
They looked really slick.
They were actually really nice. They had a nice paisley kind of faceplate to them, which was cool. The new series, though, they basically went back to kind of somewhat closer to the old look, but I feel like they kind of sharpened everything a bit. Like these new little REVV faceplates on top are kind of slick.
It's almost analogous to the circuits. They sharpened.
Yes, actually, it's a good point. Yeah, everything got a light upgrade. The sound, the box, the knobs are the same, but everything else got upgraded.
And these are from our folks, our friends up in Canada there at the REVV amplification.
Yes. So yeah, anybody who is unfamiliar with REVV, they're the way I kind of summarize. I mean, it's a little bit reductive, but I kind of summarize them as being, the Canadian Mesa Boogie. Like they offer amps with pretty much everything you need in terms of like their generator series is kind of the flagship, which has an incredible neutral clean channel. Which is really great for pedals. That's for anybody who watches the show. We actually use the G20s and the D20s quite often, and the clean channel is just like incredibly good at kind of giving you exactly what the pedal's doing. Like that's the one thing I feel like when we try stuff on other amps, you get a heavy amount of like the amps kind of color on that, whereas I feel like the G series and D series, like the clean channels tend to be pretty accurate.
And if you want to know what that sounds like, it sounds like this.
Yes.
Because we are using a REVV G20 amplifier.
Yes. So these pedals will be going into their natural environment.
Yes.
So the G series, as the amplifier goes, the big flagship model one has 4 channels on it. So essentially you have the clean channel, which obviously they didn't end up making a pedal for, but you have the clean channel, you have the green channel, which is kind of the crunch / plexi-ish. For me, that's the one that kind of, if you need more of a classic rock sound or even a blues sound on a rev amp, that's usually where the green channel comes in. Yeah, it's just got like a nice crispy crunch to it. A little preview here from Jacob. And then, which actually, that one, when we get into the pedals, I can kind of elaborate more on that one. But I feel like that one, in terms of the amp and pedal, got the biggest upgrade out of the new series. Then the third channel on the rev amps, it kind of depends on which one you have, because they used to do like a red one and a purple one. So the red one was like the G4, that's where that one comes from, and then the purple one was the G3. The G3 tends to be very modern, very good for like low tuning, kind of. I mean, I don't want to say gent, but I mean that is those really heavy down tuned things is what it's really good for.
My guitar does not want to stay in tune today.
Well, we had a weird temperature shift. It's like we had an actual fall day today, so.
Yeah, it's sweater weather.
Yeah. You need to get your guitar like a matching Maris sweater.
Soup weather, as they say.
Soup and stews. Yeah, so that one, honestly, I don't hear that one in standard tuning as much. I mean, we do in the shop, but it's like, it is one that is, it's extra crispy. Little preview of that guy. And then finally, last but definitely not least, is the G4, which is based on the red channel from the generator amp. And that one's kind of got the Mesa Boogie / PV thing kind of going on, like very saturated, lots of low end. To me, like if the G4 is too modern for you, the G4 is a great kind of option because like has just as much gain, if not more gain, but it's kind of a very different character to it.
Yes. And their copy says the G4 delivers an organic and unique voice of Canadian distortion.
Canadian distortion, yeah. Well, what's cool is like it kind of, it does like the really high gain 5150 thing without the fizz. That's what I kind of love about that one. Yeah, it can definitely do that. Like,
too bad I don't know any.
Well, what's funny about this pedal though too is like a lot of people don't believe me until they try it, or at least customers always until they actually hear it. But like if you turn the gain down on this thing too, it does incredible like Billy Gibbons kind of. Yeah, that just kind of edgy crispness. Yeah. Yes.
Nice, that satisfying thump too.
It does. It has a very like a big low end, but it's tight.
Yes.
I know you were reaching for a joke.
I do like a tight big bottom.
Well, who doesn't, especially with pedals? And then we have Eric joining us. So hey, Eric, thanks for hopping on.
It also doesn't give up. Like the note articulation is there.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite thing about their pedals in general is you can get really, really gainy with them, and you never really lose that articulation. Like, it never gets to where it's just too much. Like, yeah, eventually it's going to squeal or whatever, depending on your pickups, but it never gets to be where you're just, because to me, like, some of, PVs and certain things like that do kind of get out of hand. Like, the gain gets to be too much.
Mm-hmm. It just takes over. It becomes that fizzy thing.
Yeah, like everything just kind of turns to mush, and whereas I feel like the Rev pedals really do not do that, and that is, like, to me, like that's a huge reason, because like I've used the G4 basically since it came out, so like that's a huge reason why. Because to me, it's just one of those distortions. Like, it hits all the right spots, and it doesn't really have any. Like, you can't really knock it in any way. There's not really anything to complain about, I don't think.
And we're at like 11 on the gain knob. So there's still plenty of...
Yeah. And we're reasonably close to the amp and not getting a lot of feedback yet, so that is actually pretty good.
No? Doesn't want to go.
No?
I'm all tangled up now.
Are you?
There we go.
All right, so yeah, so we'll go back to the G2 for the full demonstration. Now, like I said, the original G2 pedal, to be honest, was one of those ones, like, I think they even felt like they had kind of a hard time getting people to really give that one a fair shake. I think the new one is really awesome because like they gave it a little bit more gain, they gave it a little bit more. I don't know. I guess I sort of feel like they took elements from the G4 and added it to the G2. So it's kind of like if you don't need all the gain of the G4, then I think the G2 is a really great option because it's one of the few that like it doesn't, it stacks well. It doesn't really have any unusable kind of range in the gain control either. Like it's one you can kind of use as a light crispy drive, but you can also get into kind of hot rodded Marshall-esque kind of territory as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nice healthy mid-range too. That's actually what I like about it too, is like to me most distortion pedals should have a good usable mid-range. Like it shouldn't get too nasally.
And so I was reading that it was developed with a bunch of Nashville guitarists.
Oh, okay.
So I'm wondering, does it have some lineage somewhere maybe between a Tube Screamer and a Nobles?
Well, yeah, since it's based on the amp, I guess I never know, like, which thing did they set out to design first. Because, like, the amp definitely has, like, the amp's come a long way in terms of that channel. Because, like, the first one, I remember it was so thick on the low end. It kind of had, like, JTM 45 kind of things where, like, the low end was just so huge. You kind of had to back that off quite a bit to really get the sound out of it, where I would say they've kind of, bit by bit, they've tightened up that channel and the pedal.
Which it's definitely a healthy bottom end, but not...
Yeah.
It doesn't take
Yeah, because
over.
before I used to, like, when we first had their amps, I remember trying it was when Robert Baker was visiting us. Me and him were going through the amps before his demo, and I was playing the G2, and it was the weirdest thing, like, I was playing the second channel on the amp, and, the low end was so big for a minute, it started to like cause the whole amp to start to sag a bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was like everything was kind of slowing down, so it almost did this weird kind of bottoming out ricochet low end thing. It was kind of a weird thing to experience, but it was kind of funny because I know like Robert had a little bit of a harder time with that too, and so like the very next version of the amp, they kind of tightened that part up.
I wonder if he's one of the session players.
Probably. I mean, now that he's in the Nashville scene, like I'm sure because that's the thing, like with a lot of the Rev stuff that I do really enjoy is like they take the players, like they work with a fair number of players from a number of genres, and they take their advice into consideration or their requests, because it is one of those things, like I feel like these pedals have been dialed in from not just like one person's perspective. I guess that's what you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just one person being like, this is the sound. It's been, they've tested it with a number of different dudes that play anything from like metal to to old school blues to modern country. So like they've chopped it around a bit.
Yeah, and it shows. This is it's really nice, like playing light.
Yeah,
but it's
has
there.
Dynamics. Yeah.
Silly strings.
I was just say I'll have to tune to it some, because we'll see.
And same thing. We're just about halfway up, noon on the gain. And there's gain all the way maxed out.
Oh yes, and we should point out, so each one of them basically has the aggression control. Aggression more or less is kind of a voicing switch for each one of them. So on the amps, it's pretty much the same thing that you get on the pedal, where the red channel is a little more opened, a little thicker on the low end, not as compressed feeling. The blue channel tends to be just a little bit more compressed, a little bit more narrow sounding and feeling. And then the middle, I think, is kind of a bypass for the aggression, so that kind of ends up being a more neutral spot. You do get a little bit of a volume kick from that too, if you go to the middle.
I'm just going to play this G chord. Would you mind switching through the 3
Sure.
real quick? So that's off. Oh, the aggression switch.
Oh.
So that's off on the aggression.
Okay.
There's blue. And there's red.
Which hopefully that comes through on the stream. In the room, it's I can hear it pretty well.
And It's definitely a feel thing.
We got Uncle Ike making a appearance real quick. Here, let me switch.
I love it when folks try to step in front of the camera and we're not on that camera.
I know, it is funny. Well, I loved when Gordo walked in and just started conversing last time. That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Just start talking, guys.
Well, yeah, he was like trying to help us with something, and then there's Ike. Okay.
I sent that email, so.
Okay, cool. We'll see what the dude
Alright,
says.
you guys have fun making noises. As I remember four guitar players, I'm all stopped then. Alright, have fun.
All right, later, Ike. Have a good night.
Bye, peoples.
I don't even know if I'm top 5 in this store.
Well, we don't really grade. Yeah, we don't have a scale here. Yeah. Oh yeah, got a little verb in there. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice.
What?
Sorry, what?
Oh, it's a gated
Oh,
reverb.
it is gated. Yeah.
I was like, what?
You're like, where's it going? Wow, that is a quick stop too.
And we're using the rooms from Death by Audio on the end of the chain.
Yes. I always love doing that on that spell. That lingers pretty well.
And you have to let it linger. Do you have to? And so the other reverb we have on the board is the Afterneath from Earthquaker Devices to give us some of those shoegazy tones. If I didn't say that earlier, I think I did.
You did, but it's always good to remind people how to shoegaze. It's so funny. I remember explaining that to a customer and what shoegaze was. And it was just kind of funny because he was sort of insistent that it should be more complicated than it was. And it was just kind of like, no, it's exactly like what it sounds like.
It's like distortion, reverb, and
Yeah.
whammy bar.
You'll always know that a shoegaze band will have a healthy number of pedals on each of the boards in the band.
It's where the name comes from.
Exactly. But that was why, like, telling the guy, that was why it was kind of funny. He's, like, trying to figure out, like, there had to be more meaning behind the name.
I totally dismissed that genre back in the day because I was like, I don't want to see a band who just stares at their shoes. I want to see a band who rock and rolls, man.
Gets out there. Oh, that's me. Okay. Ooh, that is heavy amount. All right. Let's see.
And so we're still on the G2 here. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the mids a bit. Let's see how that goes. And then let's scoop those mids. both ways.
Yeah.
That has quite a bit of range.
It does. Yeah, it kind of goes from a very subtle, kind of crisp to a pretty like full-on saturation.
That's a very versatile pedal.
It is.
Let's see where the
Where the G3 takes us.
G3 picks up. Yeah, it picks up right where the G2 leaves off, pretty much.
That's really.
That's ripping. That's a lot of low end heft.
Yeah. Lots of chugs. All the chugs. the bass pulled back. It is, and again, even going from the G2 to the G3, like the articulation is just each one, no matter where you really put it.
I wish I could shred.
Me too.
This is the best I got. And then let's move on to the G4. Or wait, hold on. Let me turn that one all the way up. Oh, that's both on. That's chunky.
Yeah.
Oh, and that blue channel really kind of opens it up. It's not as tight.
It's weird, it's funny, like, depending on the thing, because, like, it's almost like the red, at least on the G4, for me, it tends to kind of open the low end, but kind of constrict the high end, and then I'd say the other, like, the blue kind of almost does the opposite, like, reduces the low end, but kind of opens up the high end a bit.
That mid control sits really low.
Yeah, kind of, and that's, I guess, the part that reminds me of a Mesa is, like, it almost has more control of, like, the low mids rather than just the center mids.
Yeah, it's definitely low mids for sure. 'Cause
Yeah.
I turned both the highs and it's like... super low mid. where the mid sits on this, on the G2. Yeah, much higher. Not too much higher, but certainly not Tube Screamer.
Right.
Ripping.
Yeah.
The sustain.
Yeah, and very usable feedback too, actually. See, and that's what even like listening to you play it is, you know, it's different. Like it holds, it doesn't really decay a lot, sustains forever, but it never really gets into screechy territory. Like, still super usable, plenty of gain, plenty of sustain.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got that singing, beautiful thing. Like the oh, I bumped the camera or something. It's doing some crazy. Look at the
Oh. Here.
The rock was too much for the camera.
That was a cool thing. It was like It looks like 80s movie. Like, yeah, that was pretty great. Hardly
Well-
anybody saw it, but that was pretty great. All of them.
Oh, it compresses so hard it
Yeah.
can't.
Can't even make the trip. Proof again, though, that the last pedal in the chain has the final say. You resurrected that note.
We'll end on that note.
Yes.
Even we started a bit late today, for so many reasons.
Next switch.
But
Yeah.
we will have you join us again in a couple hours when we come back for Maris Monday.
Yes. Yeah, we're trying, well, obviously anybody who is tuning in, we're trying to kind of break up the format a little bit, so trying to do a few more shows kind of spread out, but hopefully we can get some more traction going with this one, because it's been pretty fun. I think, if you guys too, I think we've said this a few times, but if you guys ever have any suggestions for things you want to see on here as well, that's always helpful, just to kind of let us know in the comments, whether you watch it live or after.
And if you're watching it after and you made it this far, you're part of a special club.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
Thank you for sticking around. And if you did, put your favorite animal in the comments.
Yeah, even if you got to make one up.
Like a griffin.
Yes. Or platypuses are real, but somebody made them up.
They definitely seem made
yeah,
up.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were to describe, because they're still one of those things, like one of the best animals on the planet that seems like it shouldn't exist.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, if you guys want to join us in a couple hours for Maris Monday, and then again on Thursday we do What the Pod, and next Monday again another episode of Getting in Gear. I've been Dylan. This has been Jacob. Ziggy's incrementally getting closer to the door, so we don't have him in camera. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.